Hey guys, what's the game, Timore? Oh my goodness, 2021 and its battles. It's been quite a year, I will say, with a lot of challenges. I'm telling you, 2021 came with a punch here, a punch there, and finally, yes, take it in. 30.0 is bald. To be honest, it's been like 6 months since I actually did a video. The one that I posted the other day was my birthday, and that was in June, and now it's actually December when I'm doing a video. So literally after that, a whole lot happened. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you this story, because it's kind of a bit of a long story. Okay, so the other video that I did before the birthday one was sometime in May or in June, when I was just letting everybody know that I had the miscarriage. Anyway, it's a long story, so just check that video. But I'm going back to that because that's probably where this cancer came from. So in June, I go to my doctor. I've been going to my doctor pretty much every month because I wasn't feeling 100% okay, you know, and the doctor said, oh, it's gonna take time for you to start feeling back to normal. It's gonna take time for your body to heal. But I just kept feeling tired and feeling, you know, like I was still pregnant for the longest. So in June, when I'd gone, actually in February I had my period. It was really excruciating. I ended up going back to the hospital. They said I had a cyst in my ovaries, and then they said they're gonna keep scanning me every month to see if the cyst goes down. If it doesn't go down, then it means it's something else. So every month I went, it kept going down. You know, February, March, April, May, it went all the way down. In June, it had pretty much like disappeared. So in June, I'm happy it's gone, but I'm still feeling, you know, tired, still sometimes feeling nausea here and there, sometimes just feeling the way I used to feel when I'm pregnant. So I tell my doctor this, so she goes ahead and says, let's do blood work. And then they did a blood work on June 10th. So June 10th, I go home feeling happy, I'm good, everything's fine. A week later, they give me a call telling me that I need to go back for another blood work because my tests show, you know, my pregnancy levels are a little bit elevated. So my HCG levels. So if you normally go to the doctor, ask them to check your HCG levels or your tumor markers. So my levels were going high, but yet there's like, I've been having ultrasounds every month and there's nothing in my stomach. So they asked me to go in for an ultrasound. This was June 26th. My birthday is June 27th. So to June 26th, I go for an ultrasound. There's nothing in my stomach. So, and my HCG levels kept rising. So every week from June 10th, they were taking my blood work, and it kept going up. So they're like, you have a fully grown baby. Because at this time, my HCG levels was at 55,000, which is kind of pretty high. So nothing in there. They decide to do what's called a laparoscopy. That word, I don't know how to say it. Laparoscopy. Anyway, so they did that. They went inside my stomach. They didn't find anything. They checked my uterus. They didn't find anything. So at this time, my doctor just says, you know what, we are going to refer you to the cancer department. They can do some more tests, and then they can, you know, figure out what's going on. No, July 11th, when I was going to see the cancer doctor, they had my readings and they told me, yes, my tumor markers were way up there, and they have found a mass in my chest and some nodules in my lungs. Whew. So the doctor had gone to see, he was a gynecologist for cancer, and he said he's not able to really work with me because there's nothing in my uterus, nothing going on in my lady parts. So he is going to refer me to another cancer doctor who specializes in germ cell tumors and germ cell tumors in your chest and all the other parts of the body. while we wait for this next appointment, that's when I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and do my birthday party. So I called a few friends, we went, and that's the video that you saw me dancing, laughing. And as much as I was dancing and laughing, I was still thinking of, oh my goodness, like, you know, like, what if I do have cancer, or what, you know, because whenever they see a mass, there's masses that are cancerous, and there's masses that cannot be cancerous. Like, some masses grow but they don't really have the cancer cells in them, but some have the cancer cells which keep growing and keep, you know, going everywhere in your body. So that was like a Saturday for when we did the birthday video. And then I normally work, so I knew I wouldn't be able to edit this thing until the next weekend when I have time to edit. So I didn't even make it to the weekend. On Friday, while I was working, I had the most excruciating pain in the world on my left side, but in the back. And it felt like a sharp, I've never been stabbed. It felt like a sharp stabbing pain, and it was going from my back towards my stomach. And it was like constant, it wasn't stopping. It was so painful that I literally fell on the floor, and the pain was so much, like my body was weak. I was so weak. I wasn't able to, I didn't have strength to get up from the floor. So I had my phone was on the floor with me, so I clicked on it and I called my husband. He was downstairs, and I told him, you need to come get me, I'm not feeling well. My brother too was in the house, and he felt I'm heavy. So he felt my heavy body falling on the floor. So he was on his way over to the room as well, because he was upstairs in another room. So they both came, picked me up from the floor, carried me to our bedroom. But before we could make it to our bedroom, I had to vomit. I was just like, I can't. Take me to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, I vomited, and I was like, this is not good. I have pain, and it's not going away, and I'm vomiting. After I vomited, my brother's like, are you feeling better? I'm like, no, I don't feel better. Like, the pain is just there. So they put me on the bed. The kids are running around. Mommy, are you okay? Mommy, are you okay? My son, being so sweet, he goes downstairs, gets me water from the fridge, and he's like, Mommy, here's some water. It'll help you feel better. And I take it, and then now both my husband and my brother, one of them has to keeping the kids, occupied so they don't see Mommy in this pain. I was trying to hold it in, but I was in excruciating pain. I was in so much pain. So my brother was like, oh, I can help you stretch. He's a fitness instructor. He's like, let me stretch. Maybe you sat the wrong way, or maybe you ate something wrong, or maybe you have acidity. So we tried to stretch. The pain is not going out. It's just like too much. So I said, no, let's just call 911. Like, let's not even go to the hospital ourselves. Let's call 911. The ambulance comes. They take me to the hospital. So we get to the ambulance comes, and it's two ladies, so they can't even really carry me. So it ends up being my husband and my brother carrying me upstairs all the way into the ambulance, and they put the stretcher right outside the door. So they put me in the ambulance. We go to the hospital. I'm thinking, finally when I go to the hospital, they'll figure out what's going on. I'll be good. My brother told me there's a time he had a really bad acidity, and when he went to the hospital, they gave him a kind of tablet or an injection, and the pain just disappeared. So I was just waiting for this injection or this tablet that they will give me, and the pain will just magically disappear. But no, it wasn't. So this is like 11 o'clock at night on Friday. I think this is July 31st. I go in, and when you go into the ER, they still have to do their triage. So the nurse comes, and she's taking my blood. No, she didn't take my blood. She took my blood pressure, my temperature, asked me a few questions. And when she finished, I'm telling her, I'm in so much pain. Like, please, just, I can't sit down, because the pain was so much, it was draining my body. But she's like, there's no room and there's no beds, and we have to make sure we're admitting you fast before we give you a bed, which I understand is her job. And then she went to go talk to the doctor before she would come back to see me. So when she went, they gave me a blanket because I was a little bit cold. So I took that blanket and actually spread it on the floor and slept on the floor in the hospital. Remember, guys, this is during COVID times. And the hospital, I think, was at a yellow code, because there was like a lot of patients coming in for COVID, and the hospital was almost like at full capacity. So, but I was like, the pain I was feeling, I couldn't sit down. So I was laying down on the floor and praying, God help me not catch COVID, because I can't catch COVID and I'm still having whatever is going on. So she comes back, she finds me on the floor, she feels really bad. She's like, there's no bed, there's nothing I can do, but I can let you sleep here for just a few more seconds. And then she goes, and I think I was there for another hour, which was fine because I needed it. And then I finally get enough strength and I go and pee. So when I peed, the color of my pee tells me there's something going on, because I never peed red before. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to my sister, and I told her, you know, I'm in the hospital, I just peed, this is how it looks like, I don't know anything else, but as soon as I know all the details, I will let you know. So when the nurse comes back and sees my pee is like that bright red, then I start to see people like, you know, running around quickly, doing a lot of things. Then they started doing tests, and then within a few minutes they tell me, oh, we have a room for you, and they're gonna do a few tests. So they run me over, they do another ultrasound in my stomach. I told them I just recently went for a CT scan and stuff like that. They check my CT scans and they check my chest. So in between, they took me to another kind of like waiting room. There's a nurse who came in and she's like, oh, congratulations, you're pregnant. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, I've been through this so many times. Like, you don't know my chart. Don't come in here telling me congratulations. That's what was in my mind. But what I told her was like, no, I don't think I'm pregnant. I've been having this problem for a while now, and my HCG levels are going up, showing that I am pregnant, but I am not. They have not found anything. They even did the laparoscopy thing 2 weeks ago. Then they didn't find anything in me. So yeah, I don't think I'm pregnant. So the nurse keeps quiet and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, let me just go check your chart to make sure everything, you know, is what it is. And then now another head nurse comes, and then she tells me, okay, we are gonna admit you because we still need to do a few more tests. So they did. Now this is going to like Saturday, because I came in Friday night. So Saturday in the morning they did another CT scan on my chest, thorax and neck. They did an MRI, and while they're doing all these things, they asked me if I've ever met with any cancer doctor and all that stuff. I said, we have an appointment coming up on the 24th. So I'd not really met with my cancer doctor yet. So they said, then they said, we'll get in contact with them because it's the same hospital. So it's the weekend. The weekends is really hard to find a cancer doctor, so they could only talk to the one who was on call. But during this time, they figured out, after the CT scan came and the MRI, my kidneys were bleeding. So they had to call in the kidney doctor to advise on what they could do. At the same time, they had to wait on the cancer doctor to decide what they're going to do. Is it cancer? Is it not cancer? So they had to do a biopsy. So they did. They had to put me to sleep, and they had to go through my trachea for somebody else to get a sample of what was in my chest. And then they have it tested, and then that's when they know if it's a cancer or if it's just, you know, a mass growing but it's not cancerous. So they did that, and so I couldn't eat for like a week. So this is now week 1. I'm in the hospital. I can't eat because my throat is super painful from whatever procedure that they did. I could only take liquids. So I will take like light liquids, and anything with salt would burn me like crazy. And so that was week 1. But before week 1 was over, the MRI results, I think, came back. And then they told me I had a blood clot in my lungs. By this time, I'd only told I think my mom, my brothers, and my sisters. I didn't tell anybody else. And I was like, just the other week I was there dancing and having fun, and then now here I am. Everything is happening with my body. But when they told me about the blood clot one, I wouldn't lie, I broke down. Because I'm still waiting to know whether or not I have cancer. And then they still keep finding these things. And my kidneys are bleeding. But I was just imagining that blood clot moving around, going to my heart, blocking or doing whatever, and then, you know. So reality started to set in. I cried. Then I stopped crying and I just prayed. I prayed, God, just help me. Please help me. Please help me. But it felt like every hour I was just getting bad news. There was nothing good that was being told by the doctors or the nurses. So all I could do was just lay there and wait and pray. And because of COVID, you couldn't have a lot of visitors. So it was just, I think, like 2 visitors a day. And it was like between 2 to 6. Like only 4 hours and you get those 2 people coming in. So week 2, on Friday, that's when the results came back. The doctor came to see me and told me, we've verified that you do have cancer. And the type of cancer that you have is called choriocarcinoma. I'm like, choriocarcinoma. So choriocarcinoma is a very rare type of cancer. And he said the good thing is it is treatable with chemo, but we have to be very, very aggressive. And we have to start treatment as soon as possible. So it's not like 3 months down the line or anything like that, because at that time I was at stage 4. So, and it was growing fast because the CT scan they took in July, like that second week of July, I think it was like 3 centimeters about. And then now in August, this is like the first week of August, they're doing the test, which is just like 2 weeks difference. It had grew to like 5 centimeters. So it was growing fast. And then the ones on my lungs like were a little bit more, and then like the lower part of my neck. Plus now the kidneys are bleeding and then the blood clot. And he said this type of cancer with choriocarcinoma, it makes you bleed and it makes you have blood clots. So that's how it attacks the body, and that's how, you know, it ends up affecting your organs, and then sometimes it can even lead to death. So that's why they had to start the treatment like immediately. My treatment was going to include me being in the hospital for 1 full week, and that will be like Monday to Saturday. So the first time I went to the hospital, I ended up being there for 3 weeks. So I went July 31st and I didn't leave until like August 20th. And then I was pretty anemic at that time, and they had to keep doing blood transfusions. I had like almost 10 blood transfusions since I had they started chemo. But in the hospital at that time, I think I had 4 done during that 3-week period. And I was like, if every few days they keep pumping me with blood, what's gonna happen when I go home for 2 weeks? So when I got home, the good thing is, even with chemo, the next day after you finish, you start feeling a little bit of energy. So I couldn't wait to get that energy back slowly and slowly and slowly. So it will take about a week for me to be able to move around and do little things like putting a full plate of food for myself to eat, or going to take the shower and not feeling drained, and being able to put on my clothes and I still have energy to do something else. Because before, right after chemo, I would only like take the shower and then I will sit on the bed with my towel, because I literally don't have energy to put my clothes on. That's how bad it was. During this time, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you have this question, how do you really feel? I felt horrible. I felt like crying every day. I felt like giving up. I felt like saying, you know what, don't give me any more chemo. I'm done. Let me go home and let me have whatever little days or months that I have left, if that's the case. But then there's a part of you that says, what if you stick on a little bit longer, finish going through this part, and you have many more years after that. But every day I'll just pray. I'll open Psalms 23 and I will read that, and I'll just hold it on, and especially that verse that says, even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. When I woke up at night and I was scared, that's what I would say. When I went to close my eyes, those are the words I will say, and I will say, God, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they will comfort me. You're going to prepare a table for me in front of my enemies. And more verses like Joshua 1:9 that says, do not be afraid, do not be dismayed, for I am with you. I will hold you with my right hand, and I will help you. That's God telling me, do not be afraid. I am with you and I will help you. So why would I be afraid? So even when I started being afraid, I would just take comfort in knowing God's words. And I would read those verses. I would go on Google and find encouraging Bible verses, and I would just hold on to it. And all my friends and my family, they were praying for me. They would reach out. They would send me little motivations. They will tell me they're praying for me. They will send me encouraging videos, encouraging words. Another story that kept me going was from a really good friend of mine. And he told me, life is like a journey. You know, sometimes you're going from point A to point B. But if you're going from point A to point B and you're in a vehicle, and your vehicle unfortunately gets a flat tire, you don't stop going. You get out of the car, you fix the tire, or call the people who can come fix the tire. You find a solution for that tire to be fixed, so you can go on with your life, or you can go on with your journey. So whatever problems you face or you're going to face in this life, don't let those problems be too heavy for you to bring you to a place where you decide to give up. Figure out if there's a solution, find that solution, apply the solution, fix that flat tire, and keep going. No matter how slow you will go, just keep going until you get to your destination, okay? Thank you so much for listening to me today. If any of this resonated with any of you today, please leave me a comment. If you're going through cancer right now, I pray that you feel much, much better, and I pray that you heal completely. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave me any questions on the comments. I will try and answer every question as much as I can. And also, with the new year coming in, I wish you all a happy new year, prosperous new year, full of health, wealth, gratitude, and wisdom, and joy, of course, and love. And I do hope that one of your resolutions this year will be every day you wake up and you open your eyes, you make sure to say thank you. Because many, other than cancer and COVID and all that stuff, many have slept and haven't woken up. Okay, so be grateful for opening your eyes every day and being able to see the things that you can see around you, and be able to do the things that you can do. Be your best every day. And if you have those days where you're a little bit tired, a little bit lazy, it's okay. Do the little that you can do and then grind hard the next day and be the best that you can be. Anyway, take care, guys. It was super nice seeing you, and I'm grateful that I'm here today and I can say, you know, God is real and He will take you through whatever He allows that to come to your life, and you will come out on the other side better, stronger, wiser. Okay? Take care and be blessed. Bye-bye.